Yo, what's up, guys? Beside you here. This is a champion guide for one epic that nobody talks about in Raid Shadow Legends anymore. Probably for good reason. That champion has never been useful in my team early in the game, even up to now in the end game. I've never been used, but I like to go over these champions so see if newer players coming in can find usefulness in them. Also, there's one end game content that I will feature this champion in right now in this video because I definitely need that champion in that content. So watch out for this one, right? Her name is going to be Luria. She's not new to Raid. I like to go over these videos when I check my channel. What champion have I not talked about in Raid? I like to go over all of them. So she is shining right here. The spotlight is on her and want to do this champion guide on her. Tell you how to build her, where you can use her and all that good stuff. Like I said, she's from the Dark Elves faction. An epic champion that is not that hard to obtain. She is a spirit affinity, so it's not like void or anything like that. Her character design is also not even unique because there are champions in Raid who have this same animations, this same stance and all that. So even her look might also look something similar to champions you've already seen in this game already. So back then Raid used to just copy and paste champion characters and designs, but now these days every champion comes unique, even epics, right? So what is she best known for? She's best known for her her A2. That's what this champion is best known for. It does have, this is her most the best ability you use in her kit, because it does have a 50% chance of placing freeze debuff for 1 turn. Enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. So that's two things you can use right here. Either you're placing freeze on them or you're killing the enemies with the hope that they will not come back to life. Those are the two uses for her in the game. We can talk about her A1 and A3, sure, but this is the most thing I want to use her for in this team. So there are two places that I can think of already where this will be useful. In places where you don't want the enemies to come back to life is content like the arena, right? Anything that has to do with the arena, you don't want them to come back to life. Or something like the ice golem, where you have those two side arts by the ice golem where you want to block their revive so they don't come back to life the entire battle. And then content like the freeze is useful for something like the what do you call it now? Any wave content, you can use the freeze. Once the enemies are frozen, they will not be able to do anything. They just stand there and waste their turn. Or content like the spider, freezes can be useful. It's not a 100% chance to freeze everybody, but a 50% chance booked up to a 75% chance when you spend books on it. See, if you spend more books, it goes up to a 75% chance of placing that freeze. That makes it a useful freeze for sure. So that's going to be the only kit I actually want to see her being used in this battle. That means this champion, besides bringing a ton of damage to block revives, will also need accuracy. If you don't care about the freezes, you don't need accuracy. We'll talk about the 3 different type of builds you can put on this champion, and of course I'll test her in even an arena content. Let's see that block revive in action. So all right, I built 3 different builds for her. I want to make this one very complete build for Luria. Even if she's not a champion I've never used, probably will never use after this video. But let's see if you can find use for her. If you've just pulled her, you're wondering where you can use her, watch out. So an A1 that is very strange. It does have a 50% chance booked up to a 75% chance of placing 3 different debuffs, but she cannot place 3 at the same time. It's either she's placing decreased defense, it's either she's placing heal reduction, or there's an or. It's either she's placing decreased speed. So she cannot land decreased defense, heal reduction, and decreased speed at the same time on that A1. No. If she hits once, she might get one of them. She hits again on the A1, she might get another one of them. She might even repeat the decreased defense again on the same enemy and you still won't get heal reduction. There are content where these 3 debuffs is so important to be useful. Content like the Fire Knight, but she doesn't have a triple hitter on that A1. That makes her not a good candidate for the Fire Knight, right? But I guess you can still find out if she will be able to be lucky enough to land any of these debuffs on your enemies with her. Alright, so that's enough information about the A1. There's really nothing to say about it. If you want dedicated decreased defense, bring somebody else who does it. If you want dedicated decreased speed, but this will be useful for against bosses, not for wave content, because this is just a single target ability that is supposed to help you when these ones are not available from your main decreased defense or heal reduction or decreased speed champion. Now finally, for the A3, a single target hit that removes all boss. Also has a 80% chance. When booked, it becomes a 100% chance of placing block buff debuff for 2 whole turns on one enemy. Again, a useful skill against bosses. This feels like a boss killer kind of thing, but it's gonna remove all boss from the boss and then place this block buff debuff right here. No other skill, no other passive, no other aura, nothing special there to add, just a simple skill like this. That means this champion was released a long time ago when they didn't bother about that on some epics who they were releasing, making them look more like a rare sometimes without their passive or aura. So that's what this champion will do on your teams. You can tell from this kit now that this A3 definitely is the best one to be used in content. It's time for us to head over to some battle content. I'll show you the battles before I show the stats, or the stats first. The type of artifact set you need on this champion first, because that will determine where you want to use this champion. Knowing fully well the kits that you see right now, you can tell that this champion's A2 will need accuracy, and that's the first way I build this champion. For an early game player who is watching this, Luria will help you as the AoE freeze champion, where you're not doing enough damage to clear the wave in that first hit or that second hit or sometimes that third hit. The battle is long, it's going on for long. You will need to freeze them to keep them controlled, either in arena or PvE content. You need enough accuracy to land that freeze on the enemies so you can have your time and use your A3 or other champions to kill them slowly. Of course, enemies under freeze take less damage, but this is the first accuracy set, perception set, or if you're building damage set, you might just want to make sure you have enough accuracy on your banner to land that freeze. So that's the first set I put on her. It's not a 3-piece perception, but definitely you can make it a 3-piece mixed with some speed set or something like that. So on accuracy, always on the banner. I still managed to squeeze in crit damage and some attack right here. 2 stats that she might need. Her damage is based off attack, as you can see from all these kits. So you want to rank up that attack stats really high on this champion. You don't want to shy on the attack. Then you go to the 100% crit rate as usual for all damage build in raid. This is not a champion that can do with less crit damage like 70, 60. No, you want to top up to 100% crit rate in any type of build, whether you're going for the pure accuracy build or the pure damage build. Now for the what else again? On the ring, I wanted to go attack, but I didn't have an attack ring, so I went some HP right here. I'm looking for stats. What type of stats am I looking for? Crit damage, speed, attack, crit damage, crit rate, speed, crit damage, crit rate, and of course crit damage on the amulet. Now if you don't have enough crit damage, you can focus on more on the accuracy and the speed, so you can make her a pure freeze champion. I will test out this build on the spider first before I come switch her build to a more PvP arena build. Then lastly we'll test her build in Corset City. So 3 different builds. So this is the spider build. Let's go fight the spider with this build, because this build is focused on only one thing, freeze. And you can bring in a cold heart or somebody else to do more damage for her. I put together this budget friendly team, feel of epic champions and a rare, which players normally use to help them in the early game get through this Spider 20 difficult content. For endgame players, you probably won't need freezing this spiderling. So let me try out this early game build first of all before we move on to other super endgame content where Luria might shine, like arena. Alright, she's here for one thing, freezing these spiderlings to make sure we don't take a lot of damage from them. But it's not just a freeze we need. I also brought in a bunch of turn meter champions who is going to keep their turn meter down. We already have decreased speed on the boss right here, and let's see if the freeze lands. How many got frozen? 80% chance, or was it 70% chance of getting frozen? And almost all the spiderlings got frozen. This is what Luria can help you do. So you might see that AoE freezes in raid are not very useful in some content, but Luria definitely shines in content like this. As you can see, once they are frozen like this, you can take less damage. When they go get a turn now, they were not going to hit my Amiga and begin to kill people in this team. I didn't even bother to bring a reviver because I was so sure that within my freezes and within my turn meter controls, these spiderlings will not be able to get any chance to do anything crazy to me. So I didn't bring a pure damage champion like Cold Heart. I just wanted this battle to be a little bit longer so we can see. I don't want Cold Heart to come in here and nuking before Luria can show what she can do. I want Luria to be the one to do the nukes. Let's see. 100k damage, that's not bad. Amiga in here for the A1s, keeping it down. These battles are usually long, right, in the early game. The turn meter is not yet full enough for me to knock it back with Terrell. And let's see. I'm gonna go in with this one. They are not dead, they're still frozen, and no spiderlings has touched us yet, because we keep controlling their turn meter and we keep boosting our own. A1. The A1 also has a turn meter decrease, or that was from my Masteries. Oh, I did not show you the Masteries. Let me go back here with the A2 on Omega. He's not even built in a good damage set anymore. Finally, one of the spiderlings got a turn and got a hit. And of course, Luria, Sylar does have a stun set that is also helping us. So you might need two types of control. You can't rely on only Luria's freeze to keep the autometer, to keep the spiderlings controlled. I'm relying on Luria and I'm relying on Sylar's stun. So whichever one keeps them in control, as long as they are not hitting us, it's good. Luria did just land the decreased speed right here. Autometer control. So the spider itself is not getting a ton, but we're not doing a ton of damage, which is not good though. Will I control them again? Yes. And with the decreased speed on these spiderlings, they are not also getting a bunch of tons. Do I need the freeze right now? It is doing some damage. Did you see the block revive? But it doesn't matter though. If you block revive these spiderlings, they just come back to life. They just get respawned anyways. But for the arena content, that's when we see where that block revive comes into play more. Should I put this on auto and let it run all the way to the end? We're focused on these champions. Amiga's doing his job of A1s, making sure this spider boss of Spider Queen does not get a ton. Luria, what skill is she gonna use now? The A3? No, that's an A1. She is in a Phantom Touch, which is supposed to also boost her damage a little bit. That's two options between Phantom Touch or Crushing Rend. Ooh, kill them again before they can kill my Omega. We are beginning to take a little bit of damage, so I guess you could also bring in a reviver just in case somebody goes down. Terrell is not doing much in this team, so he seems like they want to replace in this team. Because Amiga is doing his job, but Terrell is just slacking. Is she not going to use the A2 without permission? Let me see. Luria, use the A2. I know it's available. Let me see what she does on auto. Okay, it's not available yet. That's why she keeps using A1s. She didn't even use the A3 when it's not available. Anyways, that spider run is over. I didn't want to try Dragon or some other random content because I feel like she shines more in content like the spider more than Dragon. Speaking about Luria, exactly. So as you can see, she did do her freeze job while others will be needed to also control or kill the spider herself. That was a 4-minute run. It was kind of a long one, but anyways, let's go over to the next content. But first, I'm going to change her build. Let me show you the masteries that I use, because yes, I did put masteries on this champion before coming to this content. Check out the masteries. You can find mastery options on lhate.com. It does have other mastery recommendation. This is PvE masteries, not PvP. If I was going to use her in arena, I probably want to go towards Hem Smasher or something crazy like that, or Flawless Execution. Depends on what I need. But I just wanted pure PvE build, not PvP. For her relic, I did go towards this Ireti Coronet, but if you check the HH website, they also recommend Malefic Talon. That's also a one that is most obtainable by most players for a relic right here to put on this champion. And of course, they also recommend some gemstones options, right? So that's for masteries. And did I show the total stats for this accuracy build? It's just going to be at about 200 accuracy, or I went up to 290 accuracy with the help of my area bonuses and stuff like that. And what else again? Attack, 6k attack, speed over 220 is fine. Depending on how we are in the early game, you probably want to go 180 on a champion like this, on a damage dealer. But for the PvE content, 200 is fine. Nothing crazy like 250. I went up to 250 because I could, and the crit damage is too high. This is endgame build though. For early game, you're probably not hitting 326% crit damage. But I went up to the 100% crit rate, which is the most important stat after accuracy if you're using this type of PvE build. Alright, let's switch out our gear with the presets. I did build a second one for arena. We'll try this preset right here. Luria in the arena. This one is going towards Stoneskin, because whether you like it or not, without Stoneskin in arena, a champion like this will not get a turn. So the Stoneskin is the only thing that is supposed to guarantee she doesn't get hit and killed in the first turn. But if you don't have Stoneskin, you can just go pure Merciless or what do you call it now, lethal build, and see whether she can survive and have one turn. But I didn't want to risk it. That's why I put her in Stoneskin to guarantee she gets a turn. Heck, I even brought in a champion in the team that is supposed to, guarantee her getting a ton. This is the team I put together for this demonstration. I wanted that champion to place its ally protection and basically cover the Luria so nobody touches her. Wait, the Stoneskin didn't... I thought that's a Stoneskin build. I don't see the Stoneskin. Maybe I did not activate it on the accessories. I did not swap her accessories for Stoneskin build. But let's see Luria do her thing with her A3 skill. They're all controlled. Let's see the block revive in action. On auto, will she use the skill? Yes. So if this champion gets a turn in the arena, they are dead or frozen. The ones that stayed alive, see, they are clearly frozen. The ones that, you know, did not have enough HP or are squishy, they are gone already from the battle. And this is what she's supposed to do for your teams. You can use Luria as a dedicated damage dealer in the arena in the early game. But after then, most people prefer to use their best legendary damage dealer as their default nukers. But if your default nuker is not doing block revive, then Luria could probably be an option for you to consider. Let me find out why she's not showing the Stoneskin set. Did I put her correctly in the Stoneskin for accessories? Luria. When you swap the preset, you also have to swap the arena one. Swap. That's why the Stoneskin was not active. Now Stoneskin is active. So with this, I probably don't even need that champion that is placing ally protection on her. See, now she's in Stoneskin. So if the enemies do go first, maybe my habitat is not fast enough. If they go first, she probably will survive a hit, except they somehow remove my Stoneskin or ignore it. These days, anything impossible in raid. Alright, see, all the damage they are doing to us, and she survived it. All the Stoneskin champions survived it. Was that the Tronda? They cut into me and did all this. Alright, time for me to do my own damage. They've done their worst. Luria, go in and use your A2 I mean. That wasn't enough damage. Just to make sure we don't die in this battle, I'm going to go ahead and kill the Tronda herself, gone from the battle. We don't even need revive. Don't revive the Tronda. Okay, the revive was not available or something. Let's kill that champion first. 78k on that A3. The A1 also hits hard. I have not seen the damage numbers though. I'm just focused on the battle. I'll do one more arena battle before we move on to the next content, which is going to be the Corset City, where is actually the end game content I built this champion for the third build that I talked about. One more battle in arena. Why am I not doing live arena? Because that's too difficult. Or it's going to take much time for me to battle that. Alright, this seems like a beefy team, but hopefully we are protected from all their freezes that will come when we boost with our habitat boosting. Nobody got frozen, which is good. Torment is crazy for that. Now, okay, maybe negative affinity for these two champions will not let me block revive them. True. But Ninja did take some damage. We also froze the Ninja too. I will go for that ally attack on the reviver. Ally protection for the habitat. We're surviving all the hits, which is good. Put the fear on them. Let's use the A3 to delete one person from the battle. 68k damage. Remember, this is the Possession build. This is an Merciless 5-piece Merciless build. And a Stoneskin. We're still getting frozen. Make sure nobody comes back to life by killing this one first. 16k on the A1. And finally, the battle is over after this next turn. Will Torment come back to life again? I think I've not killed this Torment first. Yeah, he's back to life again. I hate that champion, man. Alright, we can put the rest of the battle on auto. Nobody else is coming to life. We got frozen. Let's wait for Luria to kill this last Torment. He gets frozen again. Put the ally protection on Luria, not on these other champions. Imagine Torment kills us right now in this battle. I'll be so pissed. But this is not a damage torment, so we're fine. Some players build their torment in high damage. Alright, let's end it. Not enough damage? I guess he's a tanky boy. With the freeze on him too, it's kind of hard to do damage on champions who have freeze debuff on them. Alright, finally it's done. And she does proc the Merciless set right here, boosting her skill cooldown. Alright, finally the last content will be this City right here, where I want to showcase this champion for this content, where I built her. Originally I built her for this content. She didn't have Masteries, she didn't have any much crazy gear, but she was still doing it just fine for me. But just for the purpose of this video, I did put out this special gear on her, especially for this content. And it's going to be a 9-piece Merciless stolen from all my best champions in the game. Right? Luria damage. So hopefully she deletes enemies right here in this team and makes it an easy run for us, because she seems like the only champion in here that is doing a ton of damage. This might be a longer run, so I might not run this one all the way to the end, but at least by now you get the point what this champion is supposed to help you do in the team. What's the stat on this one? That's still a 6k attack over the 250k speed requirement, 100+% on the crit rate as usual, over 300 crit damage, and you can see the accuracy is still shy around the 250 270 mark right there, which should be enough to freeze them. But see, I prioritize pure damage in this one. Hopefully the Merciless set requirement right here for a chance to grant an extra turn gives me a chance to use that A2 again and again and again. So hopefully that's what I'm thinking when going towards this 9-piece Merciless, which is something you normally put on a crazy damage dealer that is a legendary. But for this build, I just borrowed it from my best champions and put it on her. Let's see what she can do. Like I said, if it's a very long one, I might not run it all the way to the end. But if they are squishy champions, hopefully we can melt them through and get right through it. And of course, please don't crowd control me. Let me protect her so she doesn't get any kind of pure damage coming to her. Woo, there we go. Either frozen or dead. That's what we'd like to see. No revive coming there for you to save you. I need to kill this one right now when they are frozen, because they like to hit back. He tried. He failed. Luria, A1 kill. Nice one. So this is going to be an easy run, because see the extra turn is broken, and already I can tell her A2 is available again for us to use in this battle. But right now we don't have decreased defense though, so that's sad. Will it do much damage to these tanky champions? I doubt it. So, it did freeze them though, because normally they are so annoying this wave. They kind of buffs themselves, heals themselves and all that. They are so annoying to deal with, but with Luria in here, can either provoke them, start killing things so we can go to the third wave. I thought this was going to be a difficult battle, but it's not. I'd say she was useful in this content, but no, anybody else can replace her in this battle. I just found an excuse to finally build her, and why not for this content, right? Especially if you're having difficulty with it or have not enough damage dealers for this particular content to get through it. And all the difficult ones are dead. She should have saved that A2. She just spent it on negative affinity. Her A2 now is not available for the next wave. Stagnite putting in work. Her A2 is not available. This is the champion I want to kill first. Stagnite is turn set, by the way. Ooh, that was an A3 or A2. That was an A1. 11k. Or 111k, I mean. It deleted that champion instantly. This is the one to watch out for. We're getting extra turns. Let's kill this one for sure. Now, these champions are hard. Oh, okay, Luria, please don't die. They are kind of hard to deal with. No provoke. Decrease speed. Ah, come on, don't die. You're the MVP right here in this team. I think she survived. Can I get some healing? She does have a revive coming though. And block revive. 63k on the damage. That's it. That's all I wanted to showcase what this champion can help you do in the early game in content like the spider or ice golem, where you need her for that, either the freezes or the block revive. Arena, if you don't have legendary options for damage for your champions like that, if you have other options for damage in the arena, you probably will not use Luria as your default arena nuker. except you're specifically looking to block, revive, or freeze enemies in the arena in the super early game. Apart from that, I don't see anybody building this champion for content like arena only. Now for faction wars, definitely Dark Elves faction wars shield is going to be helpful for that freezes and the nukes, especially if legendary champions are now available. And the new content that is coming up in raid will even place more restrictions on the type of champions we can use in battle. So maybe we'll look forward to that content, just like it does restrict us in the necessity to use only specific champions like this, maybe epic Dark Elves, because they've done Fire Knight and other dungeon tournaments where they require you to use champions from these specific factions and champions who are attack based or restrictions like that. That's when these champions shine. Apart from those restrictions, we're allowed to use other legendaries in content and we forget about champions like this. So I just wanted to put this one out there to tell you how you could use this champion in the early game and also in the super end game where she's useful in content that is restricted. Let me know in the comments below where you use Luria in your account. Is she useful still in your spider team in 2025/2026? Or is she relegated still to the vault till now? You've never used that for any content. And if this one helps you, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more raid content, and leave a comment below. Later guys, let me know in the comments if you want to, any other champions you want me to feature and take a second look at. I will do so and see how they can help me in my account or in your account. Later.